It's the middle of the night and you hear it. Thump, 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 your dog's back leg kicking against the floor, scratching its skin that just won't stop bothering them. You lie there listening, feeling completely helpless, because you already know how this goes. Maybe you've spent $80 on a tiny bottle of flea and tick drops. Maybe you've paid even more at the vet for allergy pills that work for a couple weeks, and then the itching comes right back. Tonight, I want to walk you through something different. A full toolkit of natural, kitchen-based remedies that can genuinely help soothe your dog's skin and support their defenses against fleas and ticks. I'm also going to be completely honest with you about what these remedies can and can't do, because your dog's health deserves real information, not just a magic promise. By the end of this video, you're going to have a complete practical action plan you can start tonight. Before we dive in, if you're someone who wants to give your dog the healthiest, most comfortable life possible, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap like on this video. It genuinely helps this channel keep putting out free, honest pet care content, and it takes 2 seconds. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with putting out the fire. Immediate relief for skin that's already inflamed and irritated. If you look at your dog's skin and see a red, angry, weepy patch, what's often called a hot spot, one of the gentlest things you can reach for is plain organic, unrefined coconut oil. Coconut oil contains lauric acid, which has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties, and a small amount massaged gently onto irritated skin can help soothe the area and create a light protective barrier. It's generally considered safe if your dog licks a small amount off too. Just keep it to a thin layer, since too much can leave your dog's coat greasy or, in some dogs, cause mild stomach upset if they consume a large amount. Now, what if the smell coming from your dog's paws or ears reminds you of corn chips? That distinct smell is very often linked to an overgrowth of a yeast called Malassezia, which thrives in warm, moist areas like between the paw pads and inside the ear flaps. A popular home approach here is diluted apple cider vinegar, mixed roughly 50-50 with warm water, never used at full strength since it's genuinely too acidic on its own. Dab it gently between the toes or around the outer ear with a cotton ball and let it air dry. Some owners find this helps manage minor odor and itching as a supportive measure. I do want to give you an important safety note here though. Never use vinegar on skin that's raw, cracked, or bleeding from excessive licking or chewing. It will sting badly on open skin. And if the yeast smell, redness, or itching is severe or keeps coming back, that's genuinely worth a proper vet visit, since persistent yeast overgrowth can sometimes need a prescription antifungal to fully clear up. For itching that's spread across your dog's whole body, a colloidal oatmeal bath is one of the most well-supported home remedies out there, and plenty of vets actually recommend it. Grab plain, unsweetened breakfast oats from your pantry. Grind them into a fine powder using a blender or food processor, and mix that powder into lukewarm bath water until it turns milky. Avoid warm or hot water, since heat increases blood flow to the skin and can actually make inflammation worse. Let your dog soak in that oatmeal water for about 10 minutes, then gently pat them dry instead of rubbing. Oatmeal has natural anti-inflammatory compounds that genuinely help calm irritated skin. And a lot of owners notice their dog resting more comfortably that same night. And if your dog just seems restless or itchy out of boredom or mild anxiety, something as simple as a large frozen raw carrot can help. Chewing gives dogs a natural outlet, releases calming brain chemicals, and gives them a healthy dose of vitamins, all while keeping their mind off the itch for a while. All right, the immediate fire is out. Now, let's talk about fleas and ticks, because I want to be really upfront with you here. There are natural ingredients that some owners use as a supportive part of their routine. Things like a tiny pinch of brewer's yeast sprinkled over food, a small amount of diluted apple cider vinegar, or a pinch of dried rosemary. The theory is that these subtly change how a dog smells or tastes to insects. Some owners feel these help. But I have to be honest with you. The actual scientific evidence behind these as a reliable standalone flea and tick defense is limited at best. Fleas and ticks aren't just uncomfortable, they can transmit serious diseases like Lyme disease and tapeworms. So this isn't an area where I'd want you relying purely on hope. If you want real tested protection, the most effective route is talking to your vet about a proven preventative, whether that's a chew, a topical treatment, or a collar, chosen based on your dog's health and where you live. Think of the kitchen ingredients as a nice, supporting habit on top of that foundation, not a replacement for it. One more natural addition worth knowing about is raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds, ground into a fine powder and sprinkled over food. They contain an amino acid called cucurbitin, which some research suggests may have a mild effect against certain intestinal parasites. It's a gentle, generally safe addition to a bowl, but it is not a substitute for a proper vet-prescribed dewormer. If your dog actually has a parasite infestation, those need to be diagnosed and treated properly. Now let's talk about the long game, because if your dog deals with chronic itching year after year, the real answer often isn't just what you put on their skin, it's what's going on inside their gut. A lot of commercial dry foods are heavy on cheap carbohydrates, and in some dogs, an imbalanced gut can contribute to an overactive immune response, which can show up as itchy, inflamed skin. This is genuinely an area where working with your vet matters, since food sensitivities and allergies need to actually be identified, not guessed at. But supporting gut health in general is something almost every dog can benefit from. Adding a spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt, plain kefir, or pure canned pumpkin to their food can help introduce beneficial bacteria that supports digestion and, over time, a calmer immune system. Here's a safety warning that I cannot stress enough. If you're buying yogurt or kefir, always check the ingredient label for xylitol, sometimes listed as birch sugar. It's an artificial sweetener found in a lot of sugar-free products, and it is extremely toxic to dogs. Even in tiny amounts, it can cause liver failure. Only ever use plain, unsweetened products with no artificial sweeteners at all. Let's talk about skin resilience, because your dog's outer skin layer actually regenerates roughly every 3 weeks, which means there's a genuine window of opportunity to help them build stronger, healthier skin over time. Skin cells rely heavily on healthy fats, so adding a source of omega-3s can make a real difference. A small amount of plain water-packed sardines with no added salt, mixed into food a couple times a week, is an easy, affordable option. If your dog isn't a fan of fish, a plain cooked egg works well too, or a splash of homemade, unseasoned bone broth. Just one important note, never use store-bought human bone broth. It's often loaded with onion and garlic, both of which are toxic to dogs. Making a simple batch at home with plain chicken or beef bones is cheap, safe, and genuinely good for their coat. I know that's a lot of ingredients to take in all at once. Coconut oil, apple cider vinegar, oatmeal, brewer's yeast, pumpkin seeds, yogurt, sardines. You do not need to use all of these every single day. And honestly, you shouldn't. Introducing too many new things at once can upset your dog's stomach. A simple approach is to rotate just a few additions into their regular food throughout the week. One skin support ingredient, one gut support ingredient, and if you'd like, one of the flea and tick supportive ingredients, alongside your vet-approved prevention plan. It takes maybe 10 extra seconds a day, and done consistently, it can genuinely support your dog's comfort over time. Let's also talk about a few daily habits that make a bigger difference than people expect, because prevention really is easier than dealing with a full-blown flea infestation or a raw, chewed-up hotspot later. Get into the habit of running your hands over your dog's entire body after every walk, especially around the ears, neck, armpits, and between the toes. These warm, hidden spots are exactly where fleas and ticks like to settle in, and catching one early, within the first few hours, makes a real difference in reducing the risk of disease transmission. This simple habit takes less than a minute, and it lets you catch skin issues early too. A bit of redness, a small bump, a hot spot just starting to form, long before it turns into something your dog is chewing at every night. Your yard plays a bigger role in this than most people realize as well. Ticks and fleas love tall grass, damp leaf piles, and shady brush. Keeping your lawn trimmed, clearing out debris, and creating a simple barrier of gravel or wood chips between your yard and any wooded areas can meaningfully cut down on how many bugs are hanging around in the first place. If your dog has a favorite napping spot outside, that's worth checking and keeping tidy too. Timing matters too. Fleas and ticks tend to be most active in warmer months, though depending on where you live, they can be a year-round concern. If you know a particular season tends to be worse for your area, that's the perfect time to be extra consistent, whether that's sticking closely to your vet's recommended prevention schedule, doing more frequent coat checks, or being a little more mindful after walks through grassy or wooded trails. And here's something worth remembering. Your dog's skin and coat are often one of the very first places that reflect their overall health. A dog who's eating well, staying hydrated, getting regular exercise, and living a low-stress life tends to have a stronger, more resilient skin barrier overall. None of these home remedies work in isolation. They work best as part of a bigger picture that includes good nutrition, regular vet checkups, consistent grooming, and yes, a proven flea and tick prevention plan as the foundation underneath it all. And it's completely normal to feel a little lost trying to figure out what actually helps. The goal here isn't to replace your vet, it's to give you real, practical tools you can use alongside good veterinary care. So your dog gets the best of both worlds, natural support at home, and proven medical protection where it truly matters. If this video gave you a clearer plan for your dog, I'd genuinely love to hear about it. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Is your dog dealing with itchy skin, fleas, or both? And which one of these ingredients are you going to try first? I read every single comment, and if you know another dog owner who's been struggling with this exact thing, do them a favor and share this video with them. It could really help. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss more practical, honest pet care tips. Thanks so much for watching. Go give your dog a gentle scratch behind the ears for me tonight, and I'll see you in the next one.